I don't even know how many times I've told you this, but here's the truth again about the courts in the United States and your rights. They don't care. They don't care if your rights get trampled on when you deal with a police officer. And they've said this time and time again. In that very moment, your rights get trampled on. Cool. You know what you do? You bring it to us. You bring it to the court and we'll fix it and we'll hear it. And if the police officer was wrong, then we'll create a new case law that doesn't allow police officers to do whatever happened to you. But if the police officer was right, which a lot of people get it twisted because they don't understand that there's already case law out there for a lot of what we do as police officers. And the courts have decided hundreds of thousands of times that we can do whatever it is that we want to do. And that's where knowing some case law in your life would be helpful. But if the police officer's wrong, then they're going to say, okay, we'll create a new case law where police officers can't do this. And we'll give you access to the civil courts where it's much easier to win and you get money to be made whole. That's how it works. That's the process. Courts don't care if you get your rights violated in that very moment because they understand this. And I've said this too a bunch to you guys. American policing is the world's most dangerous job, period. That's why there's a thing called officer safety. Like take, for example, Pennsylvania versus Mims. It's the court case that police officers that we use to get people out of the car. The courts have said, we don't care what the reason is, honestly. And lawyers don't even fight it either, for the most part. We don't care. If a police officer says, get out of the car, then just get out. Just step out. Step out of the car, close the door behind you. If they ask to search the car, you say no. Make them go the long way. Make them really have to work for it. That's what the courts have said. But what people don't understand is this, and you guys got to hear me on this part. When you refuse a lawful command in that very moment, what you do is you make yourself eligible for a police officer to use force against you. And you know who determines the reasonableness of that force? That's right. The police officer does. We decide how much force to use based on the situation, right? So here's a good example. I'm 6'4". I get pulled over by a 5'9" police officer. And I am asked to step out of the car and I say no. And the police officer says, I'm going to make you step out of the car. And I say, go ahead and try. What options is that 5'9" police officer left with? Right? The verbal commands didn't work. The posturing didn't work. The threats didn't work. Now he's got to get physical. Well, he's 5'9" and I'm 6'4". So